Hello YouTube, welcome to channel Bella, and today I'm going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3. As you know, in John Wick 1, it's about an assassin, a former assassin, whose wife has tragically died, and unfortunately his car gets stolen, and his new puppy, which was a gift from his dead wife, ends up being killed by this very young Russian, who clearly has no idea who John Wick was, and this triggers the events that happen in John Wick 1, John Wick 2 and John Wick 3. John Wick 3, or Chapter 3 as it's called, because they're all called Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3 with John Wick in front of them. Very much like a first-person shooter game or a role-play game, and the action feels like that as well. First things first, I would like to congratulate all the dogs that have ever been in any John Wick movies, and in Chapter 3 I would like to congratulate those lovely Spanish black horses, because I think they did their job splendidly. You will know when you see that fight scene, those horses are absolutely on par. They hit their marks, they do their job so well. Also, it's John Wick Chapter 3 is called Parabellum, and that has two meanings. The first is an automatic pistol, apparently, and the second is Latin, and it means prepare for war. Most commonly it's put together with the phrase, if you want peace, prepare for war. And it's very much like it is. This is a huge spoiler alert. We are definitely going to get a John Wick Chapter 4, just so you know, because of the ending. It had some great set pieces to Chapter 3. Chapter 1 set up the world. You had John Wick retired, brought out of retirement due to tragedy. Chapter 2 developed the mythos. Then Chapter 3 developed it even further, with where you had John Wick going back to his original tribe, and it appears that he's from the Romani tribe. So he goes back there, but he's completely broken with them now because they gave him his ticket. And it developed everything so well. I particularly like the use of the hotels, where all the service people, i.e. the assassins, go, and the hotels are neutral space where no violence can happen. And obviously if you break the rules, there will be consequences, because it's what separates the rules that separate everybody from the animals, which is interesting to note. I'd also think that it's quite funny that they've got Lovejoy playing Winston, the hotel manager. And Winston is Ian McShane, but in the UK he was a character called Lovejoy, who was involved in antiques dealing and wheeling and swindling, but he was a good guy. And that's pretty much the character of Winston, though some could say that he's clearly out for himself, but he kind of has a high regard for John. The stunts are brilliant, though I did find the final fight a tad tiring on the nerves. It's not too gory, it has a little bit of gore in it. And the use of, I would like to congratulate Halle Berry's dogs. They were brilliant in the film, really well. Animal trainer worked really hard. There's some beautiful animals, some beautiful dogs, some beautiful horses. It was really, really well shot. The use of lighting is really good, and the use of levels of buildings, which really does give it that computer game RPG feel when you play or when you watch. The use of lights is really effective. And everybody plays their parts perfectly. They're just enough serious to allow the world to become immersive. It's brilliant, though it does take a little while, particularly in John Wick Chapter 1, for you to not want, or particularly in sort of like Chapter 2, Chapter 3, for you to not want Neo and Trinity to walk in, and you could actually imagine that happening and then passing John Wick. Keanu Reeves is brilliant as John Wick. He plays him really well. It's a really good performance. Yes, it does have Lawrence Fishburne in John Wick Chapter 2, makes an appearance, and he makes an appearance in Chapter 3, and it looks like we're going to be seeing more of him and John Wick in Chapter 4, which I'm really excited about. Overall, I'd give the film a decent 4.5, though I did find the sushi baddie really kind of annoying, but I think we were supposed to, so that means he was doing his job. So overall, I'd give the film 4.5 out of 5. It was enjoyable and quite fun. Its certificate is a 15, so sorry anybody under 15, you cannot go and see it. It's really well done. It has some really good supporting characters that really allow, they've trimmed down the main plot, so it's just one main plot, and it feels very much like a set piece. They set the set pieces up and they do beautiful artistry. Lots of martial arts. Love the knife fight scene at the beginning in the lighting shop. That was really well done. And it's also it's got some lovely antiquity settings, so Greece, and we go into Casablanca and a desert and various other places. So it has an oldie world, excuse me, an ancient feel to it. So there's ancient Greece, ancient Rome, all statues all around. So it honours the past as well as the future as well. In the second one, they go into this art exhibition which is about the purpose of the soul, and it's often said that in chapter 3 they talk about all life is suffering, which is the Buddha's teaching, and then we have the idea of to be free you have to go through hell before you can get to paradise, and is that what John Wick is actually doing, if that makes sense. It was quite shocking, some of it, but it was quite fun. Overall it's an enjoyable film, even if it's about death and grief, and the love one man has for one woman and his dogs. There was one continuity error. One of the dogs got shot, huge spoiler, but then seconds later she had both of the dogs, so I'm a bit confused about that. Maybe the guy was just an awful shot. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like, comment and subscribe. And aren't the birds so loud? Isn't that awesome? Please like, comment and subscribe, and bye.